Here we are, April of 2013.
22 years since we first began cooking syrup down here. And Andrea has some questions.
So, how do you know when it's time to tap in the springtime?
It's when you look a week ahead on the weather, and if it looks like you're going to have several days of freezing and thawing, then you go ahead and start. But if it's going to be just too cold or too warm, you wait.
When did you first start making syrup, and how did you get interested in it?
I made syrup with my neighbor, Kale Condon, for 10 years. He showed me, he gave me the basics, how to do it. And then after 10 years, we decided to do it ourselves. And so we set up down here in our own woods.
Kids help with that.
Yeah. As far as tapping methods, why do you prefer buckets over lines? Or do you?
Most people that have lines will tell you that they'll run as good as buckets, but they don't. We had lines for several years, and the sap output was considerably diminished. If you have vacuum on your lines, you'll get the equal amount of sap. And then you have so much damage from squirrels and deer, and you got to fix them all the time, and it gets expensive.
Once they quit running earlier than the pails do.
They do.
Yeah.
And again, the syrup makers will tell you that's not true, but they do quit running before the pails.
How large does a tree need to be before it's able to be tapped for the first time?
Well, Ann, what do you think? I forget. What's the size?
10 to 12 inches for one pail, and then in diameter, and then 16 for 2 taps, and 24 for 3. And we have one tree that has 2 trunks, and each trunk has 3 pails on it. We got a 6-paler. First year on that.
When you tap trees, how large is the drill bit that you use, and how deep into the tree do you tap?
It's a 7/16, right? 7/16 bit goes in about 1.5 inches to 1 3/4 inches. The actual sap is just below the bark layer, whatever that's called. Yeah, so you don't have to go in very deep. But you got to go deep enough so the spile will sit in there and support the pail.
How many taps do you have out this season, and how many did you have the first year that you tapped?
Oh, we've got 780 out this year. Almost 700 pails and about 80 online. And I think we started with 150 or 200.
First year with 1 arch.
It makes a big difference when you sell the cow. tapping the sap, and what type of equipment do you use?
Well, again, it's fairly simple. We have a gathering tank on the Gator, a four-wheeled utility vehicle. We just drive around to the pails, dump them into gathering pails, carry them to the Gator, and dump them in the gathering tank. And when that's full, we bring it into the holding tanks by the shack. There's 2 holding tanks. And the lines run into barrels at the bottom of the hill.
55-gallon barrels.
And we just stop by the barrels and scoop it out with pails. We have had a pump, but it's quicker to pail it.
We're all about efficiency. And how often do you have to collect the sap?
We like to collect it every day if it's possible. But if there isn't enough, if there's only an inch or 2, you wait until you get a little more. How much is in there, Amy?
3/4.
We're gonna have, them ones up on top are probably full.
How many taps does this one have, Aim?
6. They're a 6-paler. And this right up here is the chair. Awesome to sit on if you can get up there.
Wow. About every pail is full. Awesome. A lot of fun, man. I gathered 12 loads that day.
Is that 12 loads?
Yeah, and then we didn't get everything.
Holy smokes.
And we got 3 more the next day then to finish it up. So that's like 1,500 gallons in the woods.
Holy crap.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty impressive. ways to make syrup. Can you talk about the cooking process and which method you might prefer over the others?
Well, we're rather primitive. We have flat pans. We're not totally primitive because back in the 1800s, people cooked on these big black kettles and just threw wood underneath, so you didn't have much surface area. The advantage of these is they only cost $50. Now you can go with all the new equipment, evaporators, reverse osmosis, and an operation our size with 800 taps, you'd have at least $50,000 invested in equipment.
Those evaporators are crazy.
And like last year, syrup makers got 10% of their normal yield, so their expenses were not covered.
Plus, you didn't have a lot of staff to start with. You have to have a lot of staff to start an evaporator. Yeah.
This is a lot more labor intensive, but if you can get all your children and your children's friends and your neighbors to help.
It kind of makes it fun.
Once you've collected the sap, how quickly does it need to be cooked?
Again, you want to cook it as quickly as you can. Once the temperatures get warm, get up in the 50s, 60s, or even 70s, it'll spoil within 24 hours because of the bacteria that's working on the sugar.
It's stringy.
Oh.
Yeah.
So especially late in the season, you want to cook it as quickly as you can.
How much sap does it take to make 1 gallon of completed syrup?
The old rule is 40 to 1, 40 gallons to a gallon of syrup. Now this year it's closer to 35 because there's more sugar in the sap for some reason, which we don't know. And last year it was thin. Last year it was like 1 to 2% sugar, and this year it's 3 to 3.5, so almost double.
Yeah.
Can you briefly explain your process for cooking the sap down?
Well, you just keep cooking.
Do you have different types of pans that are used for the different stages?
Yeah, we have bigger primary pans where the sap goes. It goes in the bigger pans first, gets partially cooked. And it's pretty complicated, but basically you start it in the big pans, and then as it gets closer to syrup, you put it in the finishing pans. They're smaller, and you take the syrup down. You take it all the way to syrup in the smaller pans.
And how long does it take to get raw sap to a finished syrup product?
For us, it takes roughly 12 hours to take a batch off. So we take a batch every day, and we quit at night. Generally, we'll be done by 10 or 11 at night, and then start again at 7 in the morning.
And how do you know when the syrup is ready to be taken off and when it's finished?
Well, I guess I should show you. That's the hydrometer here. And this here is not even close. We've taken syrup off already today, so this is sap that's been cooked today. So you put the hydrometer in there, and it goes to the bottom right now because it's so thin. But when it's close to syrup, the hydrometer will rise because of the density of the sap or the syrup. When you get up to that red line, that's 32 bricks, as they call it, and that's when it's syrup. So then you get it off the fire as quick as you can and bottle it.
What type of equipment do you use for the bottling process?
It's just a stainless steel milk can. It has, ouch,
A little hot.
it has 3 filters in it. And you pour the syrup through the filters into the can. It takes all the impurities out of the syrup, the sugar sand as it's called. And then you just, there's a spigot on the bottom, and you just fill your bottles. And we sanitize them with boiling water on the stove before we put it in the bottles.
And so once you have the final product, where does your syrup end up, and what are some of the uses for it?
Well, we eat a lot of it. We give a lot away to the kids and neighbors, people that help us. And the rest is sold right from the house or from a farmer's market.
Yeah, maybe I'll get to go this year.
We cannot sell in stores because we're not licensed.
We don't have cement floor and we don't have running water.
But selling at farmers markets is a...
You can
okay.
you can sell at
Yeah.
farmers markets. To sell in a store, you have to have lots of expensive stuff.
You have to be inspected.
And you're inspected just like the milk. Actually, the milk inspector inspects syrup operations too.
Are there any other things you'd like to add?
It's always fun when the river comes past. Yeah. Kids like
Springtime in
that.
Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Thank you for taking the time this afternoon.
how much sugar is in it, sugar content.
How do you figure that out?
That
This?
jobby.
Percentage?
What, yeah, percentage of sugar.
Like the density kind of thing.
But then we also have one for the syrup. Tells you how close it's getting.
I'll give you a demo before you leave. We're getting kind of close there, but it's going to be a while. Better as the season goes along. Yeah, we go out to work.
So that's round one of the strainer.
Oh, okay.
Of the
Somebody with good eyes.
filter.
So it's kind of a buoyancy thing.
Wait, it's coming back. It's still over 3.
Can you see it on the screen?
No, I think it's only 3. Well, it's right around 3.
Okay. Well, the first sap we had was 3.4
That's
three.
percentage.
percentage sugar.
And is it good or is it bad?
A 3 is even good.
They thought maybe somebody would have had a pig farm and installed it and was gonna feed it.
Oh, feed it. Oh, how would they?
30.
Well, they would, that was what they were thinking.
A little bit.
lighter. We'll find out. Where's the box?
Right. See what the boss says here.
Oh, it's not quite as light as medium, but it's a lot lighter than amber.
It's laying in the water somewhere. Now you want to fire this?
I got some smaller stuff here. Start with. All right, you get some bigger shit. Get ready. Johnny Smith must be very happy.
I think we need pretty small.
Yeah.
Even a little stuff.
Yeah. You're very good at making toothpicks.
I think we're about done. Throw that one back over there, Mark.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not too bad.
There's some back here too, I think. Yeah, I gotta find it.
I don't know. Ain't hardly gonna be enough sap in there to keep this boat half full, is there?
Go get some more. Wait. hate to leave that. I'll go get one more.